I'm Gary Spencer-Smith of Revenue Real Estate Education and Rental House Profits. To subscribe to our channel, click the subscribe button below and make sure you hit the little bell to get notified of all our top tips as they happen. Hi, and this week with Revenue, we will be looking at monthly tenant inspections and giving you some top tips. Now, there are many things that we could go into, but we try to get it down to 5 top tips that we can give you. The first one, why do them in the first place? Second one, inspect the home, not them, and we'll explain what that is. The third is how often. 4 is how to, and number 5, what if it's messy? Now, if you hang around and watch this video all the way through, at the end, we're also going to give you our pro tip that helps us during all of our inspections. Now, number 1, why do them? You hear the horror stories of people showing up and the house has become a grow up. There's one reason. The other one is you want to make sure that the tenant and the property is being maintained and kept in the condition that you want it to be kept in. If it's not, it allows you to take quick remedial action and prevent the house deteriorating. We see so many horror stories of houses getting trashed. And I'm like, well, when did you do your inspections? And they're like, well, when I moved them in and I took the deposit, and they've lived there for a year. And then the only time they do another inspection is when they go back when the rent stops and all of a sudden the house is being trashed. Well, you know, we got to hold ourselves responsible for that as landlords. So if you have something worth $250,000 up to $500,000 that you're giving to someone, why would you not want to check on that? So that's the reason why you want to do it. You want to make sure that your investment is being looked after. Number 2, second tip is inspect the home, not them. Nobody likes to be inspected. Nobody likes to feel like they're being judged. So don't go around and judge them because they've got a pile of laundry sitting on the mess, or you know what? So what if the floor isn't as clean as you might like it in your house? And we'll talk about grading tenants later on, A, B, and C, and we'll explain a little bit about that. You've got to get outside the head and inspect the home. You want to make sure that the home is being looked after. So there are things that you can do when you walk around the house, and we'll talk a little bit about in the how-to in tip 4. The second one is how often should you do them? Now in BC, British Columbia here in Canada, we are regulated by how often we can go inside the house, and that is actually once a month. Now, that doesn't mean that you should only inspect your home once a month. We actually do drive-bys on our house almost, well, weekly. If we're driving from one part of town to another, we'll zigzag through and past all our houses, because often you'll see little things outside that might make you want to question things a little bit further. Like the odd shopping cart turns up, all of a sudden garbage is piling up. You notice the mailbox is getting full because there's extra newspapers in there. So how often? You want to do a minimum of once a month. When we move a new tenant in, we do a pre-move-in inspection. We have them sign off on the condition of the property, and we take lots of pictures for stuff like that. We go back about 3 or 4 days later after they've moved in, because that's a stressful time for them. So we go about 3-4 days later, ask if they mind if we inspect the plumbing and the electrical, because that is one of our insurances, that we want to make sure that the plumbing and electrical is working, because it's a requirement for our insurance. So we buy the electrical testers, which you'll see up here. You can buy them for like $15 to $30. They're not expensive. And then you want to go in the house and say, our monthly inspections that we will be conducting are to check the electrical and to check the plumbing. So when you go around the house, you're going to check this by plugging in the electrical tester in every single socket all around the home. You're going to go in the bathroom and the kitchens, and you're going to feel underneath the sink and feel the U-bend, because a tenant might not know if there's a slow drip going on, but if you go and inspect that, you keep an eye on it, you catch problems early. The beauty of testing those 2 things, just the electrical sockets with your tester and just the plumbing, gets you in every single room in the house. And you will get to notice if there is a ding in one of the walls, if there's something, you know, the blinds might be broke. Now, tip number 5 is, what if it's messy? If it's messy or you notice something wrong, what do you do then? Now, I raise it with our tenants at that point. If I notice something and I'm testing over here and I notice a hole in the wall, I'll say, how did that happen? I will then be quiet, not speak, and let them explain. Let them tell you what went on. I would be like, oh, okay, well, is that going to get fixed? And everyone always says yes. Then I will leave, and then I will go away and come back with an official notification saying, we noticed while we were testing the electrical in the home and the plumbing that there was a dent in the wall, or the door was broken, or whatever that may be. We would like this to be fixed. Give them a reasonable time to fix it. Say, you know, we'd like this fixed within 3 weeks or before the next monthly inspection. We'd like it done properly. And if it's not fixed, we'll be fixing it ourselves and it'll be charged back to you. And that could lead to eviction if they do not fix problems. Accidents will happen. Things will happen, I'm not unrealistic that things are going to go wrong and things might get broke, but you want to make sure that people are taking steps to fix it, okay? If they're not taking steps, that might not be the tenant that you want in your home. So our final bonus tip, always have a higher authority. Never be where the buck stops. Because if you go in and you're inspecting and now the buck stops with you, all of a sudden you're now getting into a confrontation with a tenant. If you leave and then explain to them that, could be your business partner, your joint venture partner, it could be your dog. Always have a higher authority and say, I spoke to the business partner, owner of the house. I explained to them that I noticed this dent and they said that I've got to issue this official paperwork. And just be, yeah, I know, it's just part of my job. But now they go, well, they're not arguing with you. You can always walk in and go, sorry, it wasn't me. It was my other partner, the business owner, the homeowner. Always have a higher authority so the buck doesn't stop with you, and it helps prevent confrontations as well when you're doing monthly inspections. If you have any questions about doing monthly inspections, please leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. I hope these top tips will help you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.